for freedom and they want to be, free from tyranny the way those 55 men did. They did it because they said the king is a tyrant. He's putting us under despotism. And so even whether you mentioned the name earlier, Tim Turner, the Guardians of the Republic,
right,
and Restore America Plan and all this kind of stuff, I will tell you right now, there will be arrests and they will go to prison. And like I said, they're doing nothing different than the Montana freedmen were in the 90s because I researched that completely. Now, going to his question,
yeah,
it states in a lot of their documents that I say they...
Well, we lost you. Oh, we lost you for a second. We lost you for a second. Go ahead. It states in their documents what?
For instance, in the Oregon Constitution, in Article 1, Bill of Rights, men, when they form a social compact, are equal in
you're cutting out here.
Constitution itself.
David, excuse me. Hey, David.
Contract where men come together to form a society.
David, it's fading in and out.
Though, it's always been done.
Yeah, you can't hear me.
Actually, even now, it has to be done by...
Okay. I knew that was going to happen. I felt it coming on. Let's see. Excuse me, David. Stay right there. We're just going to try to redial him. A second here. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. Yeah, I felt that coming, David.
That's interesting.
Yeah, every now and then it does it. Okay, now let's go back, and I can edit this, and it'll be fine. You said something about it states in their documents when you're talking about David and his particular issue. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the documents that they leave behind, like the Oregon Constitution. When I say leave behind, I mean, it's still here, but, these things are old. These documents are hundreds of years old. And so they write all the laudable terms. Men, yearn for freedom. They long for freedom. They want to secure their rights, and it takes building a government to ultimately secure your rights and liberty. That's what I tell business people, the ones I talk to now, that, building your own nation state, that's the ultimate asset protection program. That's what they did to protect their assets.
Building your own nation state. How many people? Or
society.
How many people you need to do that?
Well, with them, they did 55 to start with, and then 39 men signed the Constitution. You don't have to have that many.
Could you do it with 3?
You could start with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they started with 2, actually, when they did the Declaration of Independence. There was only 2 signatures on it, which were Hancock and Matlock, the 2 who drafted up the document. Then they sent it out for signature. And it took them 5 years to get to 55 signatures.
Yeah. So back to David.
Yes.
Give him some ideas. It sounds like in a crazy kind of rabbit hole there. Is there anything he can do, or what would you suggest he try to do, or where does he go from here?
Let's talk about this for a minute, because this is in international law. When it talks about people building a society, it says they do so for their economic, cultural, religious, political beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But without the economics, the other ones do not matter. We're here to be productive. We're here to be stewards, and part of that, it means becoming financially free as well, financial independence. And even though my website is called The Right of Self-Determination, in my conference calls, I tell everyone that economic determination comes first.
Yeah.
And Patrick, we're in very, very, very dangerous territory right now in terms of world economies and global economies, and you already know this.
Sure.
And so the question is, what's it going to take over the next 2 to 3 years even to survive? And I tell people, and I've told people for years, I did not do this full time, by the way, Patrick. I started in business when I was 26 years old, and I stayed in business and maintained business even through moving offshore to St. Kitts, moving back here, taking on the political and judicial system the way we did.
Mm-hmm.
I still ran a business
mm-hmm.
and stayed in business. And I tell people all the time, you have to be in the corporate dream. It was not a corporate dream. It was a corporate nightmare. And it has turned specifically into this corporate nightmare where people have given up. I'd say what I tell people is, you rent your body at wholesale and they sell you off of the common market at retail. That's how they make a profit. Why aren't you doing this for yourself? Because the history of this country was people came here to start business. In 1900, 90% of the people in this country had their own business. And I have friends of mine that I work with. One of them specifically that 18 months ago was completely broke, got into a business, and within 3 months was making $10,000 a week. So is it possible to do this during a bad economy? Absolutely. Does it take more determination than what has probably occurred before with most people? Yeah, they got to cut the TV off.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to be called upon in the next few years, I would argue, to really get our act together and learn what this word discipline really means.
I called it the Forrest Gump approach. You mentioned that. I love that movie, Patrick. That simple concept. Forrest Gump was obviously retarded, and because of his mental incapacities, he could only focus on one thing at a time. But he was constant energy, constant motion. And because he could only focus on one thing at a time, he was successful at everything he did.
Very interesting. So, again, David's still on the line. He's a brother-in-arms of yours. Can you give some specific things that he should think about or do before we let him go? I know.
Well, the first thing is knowledge. This, as James Madison said, knowledge will always govern over ignorance. My website was set up as a membership site for people to join. It's $27 a month. I also set it up to make it another economic engine where people could be in business for themselves in what's called affiliate marketing on the web. And it has a 2-tier affiliate program where people, if they refer 4 people, then theirs is free. And then there's 25. We put 50% of the funds back up on the table of the $27 because I've got groups of guys. One guy specifically has 16,000 Twitter followers, and he is in the next month going to join, and he wants to promote it to all his Twitter followers. If he puts 1,000 people into the education program called The Right of Self-Determination and Matrix Solutions, then he'll earn anywhere from $7,000 to $13,000 a month.
So your business,
and he's already earning $13,000 a month, by the way. So
your business then is the way you're going to hedge the inflation that you see coming is to sell the information that you've learned to teach people how to have a diplomatic immunity.
Well, not just sell, but also have it in networking terms. It's called viral marketing on the web. It's called affiliate marketing.
Kind of network marketing.
Yes, we could call it network marketing as well. They just start changing the terms because some things get a bad stigma. I have no problem with the word multi-level marketing. Everything on this planet is multi-level. Look at the government. It's just kind of corporations are multi-level. They just don't let you expand. It's more like a corporation is specifically set up on a pyramid design. That's the kill word in business. Nobody likes a pyramid, even though the pyramids are the most stable structures on the planet, right?
Some people argue that if you sell the truth, you're actually going against a spiritual law, and then other people say that everything has to be paid for in the true coin.
I believe it has to be paid for in the true coin. A worker's worthy of his hire. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a spiritual element to that too. I see this because of being in business for so long. If people get something for free, they don't respect it. They absolutely don't. It's a universal principle for whatever reason. And I didn't just do this for me to create an economic engine for me, because this is, again, I run other business. This is not the only thing I do. But it is becoming a lot of what I do, because this information is so important at this time. People are yearning for freedom. They're wanting to know how to get out. They're wanting to know how to do business with immunity the way I do it. The United States does not bother me. I have a black passport from the jurisdiction I'm an ambassador for. When I did the things that we did in 2004 to 2006, and I finally, as ambassador, wrote to the United States a Declaration of Peace and Reconciliation, they wrote me back as ambassador. And if I request information from them now, it comes to me as ambassador at large. So the point is, yes. Now, does that give me total freedom?